at the same time. So without any further ado, please enjoy Mr. Sylvester Stallone. Ladies and gentlemen, I am with the one and the only Sylvester Stallone. Sly, I want to thank you for agreeing to be part of this special GoPro event. This is going to be the largest gathering of entrepreneurs in the world, and I'm excited for the lessons that you're going to be bringing.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to do it, and it's a challenge, so I'm looking forward to it.
One of the things that I admire about you the most, one of the things I admire, period, is an artist. And as an actor, writer, director, painter, all the different things that you've done in your career, you've had to, I mean, in many of your movies, you overcome obstacles, but I've also know from your personal story that you have overcome obstacles, and you are, what people might not know about you is you're the epitome of an entrepreneur. You know how to create business, how to create commerce. And these people that are going to be attending,
right,
want to have a breakthrough, and they're trying to overcome, and they're pursuing their entrepreneurial dreams, and they're trying to figure out how to get past those obstacles. Do you have any advice for people that really want it bad, that are hungry, and from some of the lessons that you've learned?
Well, I talk this over with my children constantly, because being my offspring, it makes it actually a little bit difficult sometimes, because they feel as though it's all nepotism. But that aside, I think about it more now than ever. And I think one of the biggest problems is quite often we start to think entrepreneurially, sometimes a little later in life, and go, oh, the ship has sailed. But that's not true. Ship never sails as long as you have something unique, and that, you know, okay, if it works for me, I'm sure it'll work for someone else. And that's one of the common connective tissues, that you can't just think, oh, well, I like it, but no one else will. You have to say, when I did Rocky, everyone thought it was the worst idea possible. But I said, okay, I get that the masses don't like boxing, but they all deal with the sense of alienation, loneliness, and wanting some recognition in life. So therefore, it's not about boxing. It's about the aspect of achieving a goal that you think is far beyond your reach. So I try to find, even in every crowded area, there's always a niche. There's something. For example, go tequila, then all of a sudden, this is kosher tequila, or this one is flavored, or there's something in there that sets them apart. And that's what takes a little bit of the brain work, because you don't want to sit there and say, okay, yeah, I got this great little mousetrap. You say, yeah, we've heard of it. It's been around for 200 years. You have to try to say, what makes this also very desirable? Also, you think about who are you appealing to, which is primarily women, you know, because if they're buying things, if you're inventing something, not for, let's say you're the new carburetor, the new, the new addition to a car that just is going to revolutionize gas consumption. That's a male audience. But if you're doing something that's going to be consumed in the home, you have to think about who controls that. And I take it for me, it's my wife. So you better appeal to that. And so I don't know if I've really answered anything specifically. If I had a certain subject, like, for example, I'd like to go into the liquor business, and I've been doing it, but I've spent 5 years going in and out of it, because just as I get to the finish line, or maybe the starting line, I should say, something goes wrong. And I know it's not unique enough and it's going to fail. So now your ego is like, oh God, I want to do it. But then you have to say, am I ready for this failure? Because I know deep down in my heart, it's not special enough. So it's always grinding. And I think when you put these things in the back of your mind, like when I have to solve I write a lot of screenplays. I mean, I must have 50 of them over there. And every day you go, is this worth a damn? You know, are you really just writing psycho babble for yourself, or is this going to actually apply to an audience? And it's that ongoing battle with yourself. You know, nobody can make you feel inferior if you don't let them make you feel inferior. So what I mean, this is a choice that you make up. You have to decide, am I going to let this person dissuade me? No, hell no. But they will try, because, you know, like attracts like. You know, everyone loves to band together as a loser corp because they don't have the guts to go out there with just a sword and a shield and face an army of detractors. I've always said that Hollywood, it actually functions on the motto, HHH. It was told to me by Peter Sellers. Hollywood hates happiness. You know what I mean? It's just, that's what you're going for. Everyone wishes you well. The old adage that a friend in Hollywood is someone who stabs you in the chest. They don't even hide it. You know, that's the cliche goes. So it's all about perseverance. If you really look at the winners and losers, it's the guy who can take the beating, or the woman to take the beating. The people that go on Shark Tank and say, nah, we don't like it. And they're humiliated in front of millions of people, yet they go, we'll be back. We'll be back. And then other ones, you see them just completely collapse and give up totally. So
I think perseverance is critical. And like what you talk about, I've seen in some of the other interviews, keep punching, you know, just keep going. The persistence is a big deal.
It's everything. It's everything. Like sometimes when I would spar and I was actually praying the other person would knock me out. It's just like, you knock me cold because I can't take it anymore. It's like, I'm done. I'm exhausted. I'm this. I want out. And then another part of me says, just stay in there for one more round. You may catch a second wind. And I did actually. And I put a nice little beating on a fellow actor of mine who will remain nameless, but he deserved it. But I was going to give up. I was going to give up. This guy was a former pro fighter. But I said, you know what? I think if I come back in this one round, he's going to lose his heart. And he did. And I feel the same thing about perseverance. I mean, there is no bigger long shot in the world than me. I would have more of an opportunity to try to be an astronaut than an actor. I've had a #1 film in 5 different decades. 5 different. And I think this one I just finished, I set a goal. I said, I'd like to have a #1 film in 6 decades. And it's a film called Samaritan. I'm only telling your audience not to, you know, sit there and be self-grandizing. I continually set the goals. They may be stupid and absurd, but it's what gets you out of bed in the morning. And
can I ask a question about those goals? A lot of people I find in the entrepreneurial space, they hit a comfort zone and then they go on cruise control. They go into what I call a success coma. They just kind of keep existing, they keep breathing, but they don't reach for anything higher. You were done working for money a long time ago. You already had all the fame in the world.
Yeah.
You know, you're already an icon, you know, for literally every person on the planet. What causes you to keep stretching for the next thing?
That's an inner fire that I think some people have, some people don't. Because there's a very scary aspect to our life, and it's called freedom of choice. That means it's all on you, whether you want to be a winner or a loser. You have the freedom to make that choice. And a lot of people don't want that. A lot of people say, you know what, I'm happy working for the company. I'm happy doing that. And that's cool. But if you're to actually go out there and make that righteous decision that I'm going to buck the trend, that's a very scary thing, because you're definitely all alone. It's like Valley Forge, man. Are you going to win this one? I don't know. But we're not giving up. Even though our feet are falling off, we're still going for it. And that's why we're America today, because we had a lot of, I think, military entrepreneurs, guys that were not going to give up the fight, even though they were making no money and losing limbs, they still kept going. And complacency is almost like being a drug addict. You're into a routine where you're not excited about anything. You're just kind of in a haze, and you take that numbing pill. Yeah, don't make any waves. But guess what, man? Tsunamis are coming. Change is coming. If every one of us, everyone listening to this, could say right now, God, if I could go back to 1983, I'd be a billionaire. I let so many things go through when I knew it was the right choice to buy that building. I could have bought that block. Geez, that house was 120 grand. Now it's 12 million. I see it every day. I'm guilty of it. I sit there and go, God, you could be worth billions of dollars, but you didn't have support. You didn't have that person quite often going, go for it. Actually, you had people saying, you know what that's going to cost, man? Look at this shit neighborhood. There's never going to be. Don't you think people, the real rich people, if it was any good, would have bought it themselves? I remember Carl Icahn saying to me, he's worth, what, $20 billion? He goes, remember one thing, I might as well throw a dart. You might as well throw a dart, Sly, at the Wall Street Journal to pick a stock. Because everything good we got first. You get the crap. The big fish, us, we know everything. And I said, you know what? You're right. That's their business. So why would you get into that business with them? Because they're going to kill you. So you got to find your niche. Say, this is what makes me happy. Like I feel good about real estate, or I feel good about automotive parts, or maybe I want to build an art gallery and things like that. And say, this is something I would do for free. You know, I've always said that. I know it's kind of stupid, but it's fun. If you're doing something out there just grinding 18 hours a day, you're going nowhere, and I want to build a boxing gym. I go, why? There's no money in it. You know, what you want to do is build equipment, maybe, not a gym. Be the machine, not a wheel in the machine, not a cog in the machine. Be the machine. But that takes major commitment. That's why I think all good businessmen are a little crazy. At least they're called crazy, but they're not. They're obsessed. They're obsessed. And those are the ones that are never complacent. I have been complacent. And I let other people do my thinking. I delegated. And literally I had a 6 year, 7, 8 years. I didn't work. Until finally I said, you know what? I'm going to go over there and start writing all these screenplays. Let me show you. Screenplay after screenplay after screenplay. This comes from my brain because no one else was going to present it. See what I mean? So you had to throw yourself a life raft. Don't expect him to do it. He'll miss you by a mile. Throw yourself a life raft. Do it yourself if you can. But don't be complacent, man, because it'll go away. There's someone just coming right behind you and wants to knock you down and take your idea and roll right over you because he has ambition and you're complacent. Yeah, I got the yacht. I got the Ferrari. Not for long, pal. Every year, Ferrari coming out. There's a new book. You got to keep.
Yeah, exactly. You got to keep moving to stay relevant, right?
Oh my God, all the time. Especially like in my industry, I should have been done 20 years ago. I mean, I'm doing action films at 74 years old, which is crazy. I mean, really, even I think it's crazy. And the bones hurt and the back hurts. And I've had 4 operations in my back. I've had 3 neck fusions. It keeps going and going, but there's still something, even as jaded as I think I should be, I have nothing left to accomplish, but that's not true. By your nature, every day you can accomplish something if it's fun. You know what I mean? If it's something you really enjoy doing, not strenuous, not worth destroying your family, not where you're like walking around in a state of stress, but just like, yeah, man, this is a game. It's like a football game.
So fourth quarter or first quarter or any part of the game's not over until we leave the planet. We're here to do something. We're here to make a difference. We're here to have some fun. We're here to see what we can kind of make of ourselves. Two things make me happy. One, when I'm growing, and two, when I'm contributing. I know the same's true for you. We're super excited to have you at this GoPro event, and we're going to have an extended conversation. Entrepreneurs are coming from around the world. These different independent network marketing professionals from around the world are going to be tuning in to learn from you how to be more successful and how your life lessons can be applied to help them have a breakthrough. So I just want to thank you for your willingness to be a part of it. This is a treat for me. And
treat for me too. I enjoy this actually because I don't get to do this much. It's like I'm just talking to myself usually, so it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Well, Sly, that sounds weird to say, but Mr. Stallone, Sylvester Stallone, one of the most iconic entrepreneurs in the world, a true artist, going to be joining us at GoPro December 11th through the 13th. I cannot wait for that experience.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody watching this joins us.
Thank you. Keep punching. See you soon.